about an alleged murder conspiracy, was unlawfully killed by the recklessness of her driver, Henri Paul, and of the pack of photographers who were pursuing her, trying to get a picture. The jury of 11 randomly selected members of the public, who last October were taken to Paris to see the key locations for themselves, and who over the past 6 months have heard evidence from more than 250 witnesses, had spent 3.5 days considering their verdicts. Just before 4:30, the jury forewoman got to her feet in a courtroom packed with lawyers, and with Mohammed Al-Fayed and Diana's sister, Lady Sarah McCorquodale, both watching. The verdicts, she said, were of unlawful killing, with the following causes of the crash: the speed and driving of the Mercedes, the speed and driving of the following vehicles, and the impairment of Henri Paul. It is the role of Henri Paul which in many ways has been at the centre of the inquest and which is highlighted by the verdicts of unlawful killing. The jury heard evidence about his consumption of alcohol on the evening of the crash. He had the equivalent of 4 single whiskies in the hotel bar. Henri Paul drove the Mercedes at excessive speed, pursued by a group of photographers. None of them would testify, but the jury has decided that their pursuit of the Mercedes was so grossly negligent as to deserve the finding of unlawful killing. Outside the court, the former Commissioner of the Metropolitan Police, Lord Stevens, who led the 3-year-long British inquiry into the crash, gave his reaction to the verdicts.
I just hope that this can bring closure to what has been a traumatic event for a lot of people. Mr. Al-Fayed has said that he will accept the verdict of the jury. The verdict has been clear. They have said they are absolutely sure that there is no conspiracy in relation to this matter.
Mohammed Al-Fayed's central allegation, of course, was that the secret intelligence service MI6 had murdered the couple. The coroner ruled that there wasn't a shred of evidence in support of the claim that it was the Duke of Edinburgh who'd masterminded the murder of his daughter-in-law. One former senior intelligence official says the Al-Fayed allegations were totally absurd.
The central allegation that Prince Philip conspired with MI6 to murder the princess was preposterous. I mean, it was always preposterous.
Those who were close to Diana hope Mohammed Al-Fayed will finally let matters rest.
I just hope now that he will find some sort of peace and stop pursuing this line of inquiry, this whole circus that he's really kept on the road single-handedly for 10 years now. I mean, I think he needs to allow Diana and his son some dignity now in their death and let them rest.
However, tonight, Mr. Al-Fayed's spokeswoman has returned to his claim that it was murder.
I'm not the only person who says they were murdered. Diana predicted that she would be murdered and how it would happen. So I am disappointed. The verdicts will come as a blow to the many millions of people around the world who supported my struggle, and I thank them.
Mr. Al-Fayed left the High Court without saying anything. Whether he will now do as he said he would on oath in the witness box and accept these verdicts remains to be seen. Well, certainly just this evening, despite these verdicts of unlawful killing caused by the gross negligence or even the follow, it seems unlikely at the moment that Mohammed Al-Fayed is going to abandon his claims of a conspiracy. His spokeswoman has said that in identifying the following vehicles as part of the verdict, this raises questions about who was in some of those following vehicles. Who were they and what were they doing in Paris? That is still a mystery, she said. Now, we're expecting shortly a statement from Clarence House, from Princes William and Harry. They are known to have been following this inquest very closely. Their abiding wish will be that this finally draws a line under all the speculation, under all the claims of a conspiracy. It will, I think, echo what the Bishop of London said at the memorial service for the Princess last August. You remember that he said, "Let it end here." That, I think, will be very much the wish of members of Diana's family and her many friends. The verdicts, of course, also raise the question as to whether any proceedings could now be brought against the paparazzi. These verdicts of unlawful killing by the means of the gross negligence of the following vehicles, in essence, is a claim of manslaughter against them. But but no individuals have been identified. None of them, of course, came here to testify. It must be very, very unlikely that these verdicts can now be followed by any prosecutions.
Nick, for the moment, thanks very much. Nicholas Witchell joining us there from outside the High Court. And as he said, after 6 months, hundreds of witnesses and